I'm going to do something a little different. I'm just going to continue building, playing around with BFFless. Going to go ahead and add chat functionality to BFFless today. So let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully, it won't be too involved. All the tools we have with BFFless should make it pretty straightforward. So let's do it. All right. Let's find where I'm at here. All right. Here we go. And don't save. All right. Set up a new session of Claude. Uh, let's add chat. We're going to be using Vercel's AI SDK, which is already, we have the backend functionality and already integrated into BFFless, and we have a front end tool as well with our skills. So we should be able to do it pretty easy, assuming everything works. Plan. Let's set up a chat bot UI. You know, I'm gonna go to GitHub BFFless. I think I have a chat project demo chat. Yeah, so we're gonna say chat UI to BFFless. It should know this. Use the skill. So you have. You, why am I talking? Use the skills you have for BFFless to align with the chat and to figure out how it works with the chat pipelines. And then for the front end UI, you can use this repo here as an example. And then we're going to say, I think I want to move the contact button in the bottom to some sort of header or somewhere else on the page. I'm not sure. And make that floating button in the bottom a chat icon, which will give me that chat tooltip pop up that you can reference from the demo chat repo. All right, so should go explore demo chat. It's going to explore the skills that it has. There's BFFless chat, and that also points to that demo chat repo. So it should have a lot of knowledge of what it needs to do to set this up. Now I am going to need to configure Anthropic with my key on the back end. So we'll do that as well. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that ready on a different window that I'm not going to show you because it will be pasting my key. We'll go through what you need to do though. Okay, let me look at demo chat, pop-up pattern widgets, got that. Yeah, you just need to create an Anthropic API key. I'm not going to go through that in this video. I'm sure there's 1,000 other videos out there and instructions on how to create your Anthropic API key. All right, while it's doing that, let's go and just add our API key to admin. All right, so if we go into the repositories, we're going to go into the project, and then we go to settings. We have AI. We're going to add AI provider, choose Anthropic, paste my API key here. And, you know, I need to update this to be more dynamic. Currently, you don't have a lot of choices and they're kind of old. So I'll probably update this at some point so it pulls from latest models. But for right now, we're just going to set the default model to Claude Sonnet 4.6. Or actually, this is just the default model. We can change it later. We'll go to Haiku to make it cheap. All right, so now we have the API key set up for our pipelines. Yeah, you should be able to figure out how to generate your API key for Claude. I'm not going to go into that now just because of might show personal information or the API key itself. All right, let's check back in. Okay. And I was really hoping it would use my GH. Use GH for fetching GitHub content. Like I have GitHub CLI. It should just be able to use that. Maybe I need to update my Claude MD file. This is a new project. I didn't set a Claude MD file. Um, Maybe we'll do that in another tab. Let's do that now while it's working. Claude. I think if we just run init, that will create a Claude MD file, which I haven't done yet. I should have done by now. We want to give our project Claude project information to sort of persist, and I'm going to tell it once it creates this file to when getting GitHub files, rather than using like curl, use GHCLI because I'm already authenticated with it and I don't need it using curl. It'll just be faster. Oh my goodness. Just give us some more space. Yeah, we'll start with this. When getting uh, when getting files and stuff from I just old habits. When getting files and stuff from GitHub CLI from GitHub, I want you to use GH and not curl. Let's see if it can work with that. That's good enough for me. All right. Now I pay price. Okay. What should the existing contact move to? New site header top, inline connect. Yeah, let's do a new site header. All right. Now should the chat widget, how should it do? Plain CSS. I want Tailwind. I don't want verbatim. No. I like Tailwind. Let's do Tailwind. Man. Oh, I can't even talk here. Okay. Let's do Tailwind v4, but and base it off demo chat, but make it unique. Actually, yeah, make it simple for now, as we haven't done any style yet, and I don't want to make any design decisions at this point. I just want it simple. We'll style stuff later if I actually come up with some design. I'll add it to the BFF. How should the chat backend? Yes, add it to the BFF. No, use the MCP server, bro. I'll set up. No, Claude creates MCP. Yes. Plan use BFFless tools. Yes, use the tools, of course. Okay. All right. So now it should be able to set up my backend pipelines, and oh, we want to also set up a reverse proxy on the locally, so I can run this locally and hit the pipelines. All right, let's see. Because now I don't want to just deploy right away, as fun as that is. I want to actually test it locally, and to do that and to keep the URLs relative, it will wire up the configuration to use a reverse proxy. And that way, the requests go to the actual live site, and they're handled. It's writing the plan before it's got my last comment. All right. Okay. List aliases. So now it's using my MCP server to find the different domains, and it's going to find the pipelines. Production is what? What are you talking about? Productions at example.js5s? No. I think example is just a subdomain. When you say productions at that, productions also just at www.j5s. See if it can translate that. Yeah, it found a domain. It didn't look at the primary content. So I have subdomains that I can configure, and you have the primary content, and it didn't even think to look there. All right, let's see. Write the plan. I feel like it used to be faster. I don't know. Maybe I've just gotten more impatient. All right, here's our plan. Let's review it real quick. Breeze through it. Cited J5S, BFX got that right. Floating bottom contact fab, floating action button, wired up, no header. Page sections are stacked, centered under a hero site. Okay. We move the contact button. Okay, got that. Take the floatings, got that. Styling, got that. Okay, critical files, package JSON, AI SDK, React Markdown, Tailwind CSS. Good with that. Okay, and we got a reverse proxy setup going on for API and Tailwind setup. Tailwind, I love Tailwind. I hate writing CSS. And you know what? AI seems like it's better at writing Tailwind. All right, let's do it. It's going to do this on our main branch, I bet. We need to switch branch really fast before it. We'll see if it does its own branch. See if it's smart enough not to do this change on main. So it's going to create a pipeline, and it's probably going to do that last. Let's see. Yeah, installing the dependencies first. All right. Cool. Chat pop-up component. We got our chat button. Chat panel. Okay. It's part of the chat pop-up. Chat header. Makes sense. I love source tree. I like to just look at it in source tree too. Just see the new files. Here are dependencies it's installing. Still on main. It's just going to do everything on main. And when we commit, we'll have it raise a PR. Now I got to think about the chat agent. What type of agent do I want it to be? Site wrote a skill. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's using skills. Wow. Okay. So chat, we have integrated skills with the Chat SDK, and it's decided to write its own skill. Interesting. So if like you're chatting with it and you want to ask about the background on this demo site, like the assistant's going to answer it. That way you can add like a whole bunch of different context. Like you give your agent prompt, like when you chat, you say like, what is your system prompt? Right. And that can be so long. Like you don't want it to be really short, but you don't want it to be like a giant book. So you give it skills, which are like, little snippets, and then it can jump to different chapters and different sections of it. So that's how the skills work within the chat. And what happens is we're going to need to have the pipeline do a build and upload these skills to a dist file so that the backend can actually read those files. We'll see if it's smart enough to know to update. To know to update the pipeline. Oh, it did. Yeah, it updates the pipeline. It's adding the BFFless folder, and that's going to ship the skills to the dist on the back end, and then the AI agent can read those at request time. Sweet. All right, let's see where we're at. The dev service already up and running. Oh, it's run. That's an old site. You don't want to be on there. All right, where did it spin it up on? I hate it how it spins up its own site. It's like, get all these background tasks that are just floating around. All right, so it's done. Sweet. Let's go check it out. TN dev 5173. I want to open it up in Chrome. I don't want it here. All right, here's our chat button. I don't really like that border. What is it, blue on black? That really is plain. Sweet. Oh, we're getting 404s. That's not good. Our reverse proxy is not working. I don't know. Did it wire up the back end? Maybe it didn't wire up the back end. The reverse proxy's proxying it, but I don't think it hit the back end pipeline. Let's see. So proxy rules. I bet it failed to attach the proxy rules. We are pointed at production, proxy rules, API backend. Yeah, there's no chat. It like totally forgot to do the chat. Come on, bro. Okay. Wow, you really dropped the ball, Claude. Which one was it? Oh, wait, hold on. What left for you and BFF? No MC pools is this? Oh, what? You're crazy. For pipeline creation? That can't be right. Uh, MCP, maybe it's not connected. There are tools. I think you're wrong about the MCP tools. I'm fairly certain there are tools that exist for pipelines. Wow. Guess, I mean, maybe. I'm pretty certain I had set that up though. I mean, I have a way to generate the chat schema. Let me look more carefully. Let me see. BFFless pipelines. It loads the skill. And why aren't you looking at the MCP server though? Pipeline still talks about handler, change proxy rules. Let me roll the proxy rules skill. Create proxy rules. You're right. I was wrong. Create proxy rule, pipeline. One important note is MCP AI handler steps. Calling, what is it doing? Now I feel like I should just done what it asked me to do the first time. Oh, man, I forgot. I thought I could just do it all out of the box. Like, I have a way in the UI that basically makes this like, there's a generate schema, and this is like for chat. I just thought it would call this or do something similar. However, the real constraint flag before running it doesn't expose the stream SSE option. It returns a full. Okay. Let me just run this through the UI. All right, slow down, Claude. I'm sorry. Let's see. So here we go, chat schema, and we're gonna call this support. What do we call it? Naming so hard. User scoped. Okay, let's just go. Um, uh, if I name it chat, it's like, let's just call it chat. Okay, that's the best I can come up with. And then we're going to edit this later. Okay, create a new proxy rule set. Yeah, we're going to create a new proxy rule set. Generate this. And so it created chat messages and chat conversations. And then it created this chat test pipelines. And I have these two pipelines. And now I have to actually go into production, and I need to attach my other pipeline update alias. All right. Okay. I generated the schemas and pipelines. Take a look. I haven't messed with chat for like a couple months. As you can like, I'm on like I'm on like 4.6, right? And 4.5, 4 like things are moving fast. Schemas are there, but API back rule doesn't seem to show. Oh my gosh! Of course, because I created it in a different. I created it in a different proxy rule set. It should be able to see that though. And then I just attached the other proxy rule set. Yeah, the chat pipeline might be okay. I just didn't read. Everything's wired up. Okay, let's test it out now. Two things to fix before. Oh, what are the things? Peer views won't have chat. Yes, skills aren't loaded into the system prompt. Correct. Okay, we need to first deploy before we can do that. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so let's test it out in the browser now. Let's refresh this page. Hey there. Boom. How's it going? How can I help you? All right, sweet. It's really basic UI, but it's totally under our control. It's all our own chat. And so we can customize this at a later point in time when I actually want to make this, like, spend some time on the design. Let's go ahead and commit this and raise a PR. Okay, attach the rule set to the preview branch when branch in the to the preview let's do this. Okay, because our preview branches have dynamic aliases, which I don't really like, but is the way it exists, we need to attach this proxy rule set in the GitHub actions so it goes with every PR that gets created. So what happens is when a new PR is created, a new alias is created. When a new alias is created, we're only currently attaching our existing production rule set to it. And so we have to attach both rule sets to it. So if you come in and you look at our pipelines, you can see that when we deploy, we are proxy rule set name, API backend. Now the question is, does it take an array or is it just a single thing? That I don't know. We'll see how it can handle that. I may have to make a PR to the community edition to handle this functionality later. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with. Let's see what it says. A single proxy. Yeah, you either need to call alias up directly. Yeah, I'm going to need to do that later. Okay, so I'm going to come back to that. For right now, let's just. Okay. I'll come back to that later so that I can attach an array. But for right now, let's change the way when PRs are created that they use a single alias of preview and don't create a brand new alias every time based on the PR number. So I don't really like that because my aliases just start stacking up anyways. And that makes this like a one-time change versus every time a PR is created. So like if you go in here, you can see I have all these old aliases hanging out there. And I have this like preview alias, which I'm just going to overwrite every time. So I'm going to go like this. And now it's attached. And then when my PR is raised, it's going to use this single preview alias. And then these I don't need in the future. Yeah, so it's coming in here. Description is updated my description. What else did it do? See here, it changes the alias to preview. That's what we want. And now, done. 6. So I'm going to come back later, not in this video, and make it so that you can attach multiple proxy sets to inside of your pipeline. That's going to require changes in 2 different places, though. All right, so now. All right, is this the previous? Yeah, I just did that manually. Existing PRN are now orphaned. They're still pointing at old deployments. Okay, cool. Okay, let's create a branch and raise a PR with our code changes. Then we're going to go into the pipeline. Once it, we're going to go in and we're going to update our chat pipelines. Some stupid naming. I need to. It doesn't really have an effect. Okay, so this is the get chat messages. Here's where we're going to come in and it has our system prompt that we're going to want to customize. So we have like this really lame prompt. So let's go ahead and tell it to update. I'm going to tell it to update this prompt via MCP server so I don't have to write it. And I'm going to feed it my homepage of BFFless.app. Once it completes here, I'm basically going to say, uh, go ahead and review my homepage for context, and then update the chat system prompt to be a chat assistant based on that, and we'll go with that. Okay, so can you update my chat system prompt in the pipeline that we just created with really good context and information from my website? Additionally, I want you to have context that I've been doing not streaming, that I have been doing video tutorials on YouTube, and the audience is most likely visitors from YouTube. Um, yeah, so that's it. Okay, I guess I didn't need that last part. All right, so it's going to get my website content. My pipeline failed. Let's see if my pipeline failed. Yeah. Why did it fail? Coverage regressed. I don't want that. Oh, I added this in a previous video, and I have it specifically to fail if the coverage regresses, which is a great pattern to have, but not right now. I don't want it to fail. Like, so I'm going to tell it to not fail, like when coverage regresses. Right. So side quest. Let's wait for this to finish. While it's doing that, we're just going to talk to it. Can I talk to it? It looks like my pipeline failed because coverage regressed. Can we disable this functionality for right now? So yeah, we don't want our pipeline to fail because our code coverage is down. Like maybe if I'm not just playing around and I have a production website, that's a good idea. But it's just kind of annoying right now. All right, so save the system prompt. Let's go ahead and look at what it saved our system prompt to be. Refresh the page. All right, look at this. You are an AI assistant for the BFFless demo site J5 about this. Yeah. Okay. Page contains. It's really important that our users know page contains a sticky header with a contact button. Okay. This definitely needs to be refined, but I don't really have like a theme or anything. So I'm just gonna leave it for now for demo purposes. If I have an idea of what I want to turn this website into, like I don't know, some snarky thing that makes fun of you or whatever. I don't know, something cool. I would add it here. I don't have any ideas about it right now though, so I'll just leave it. All right, let's go check back in. All right, pushed. This will rerun. Fail on regression. False. All right. So let's go look at our pipeline. Running coverage comparison against production. Yeah, it failed, but it passed. Right? We dropped our code coverage, but I'm cool with that. And it updated a PR comment. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. We got our PR comments in here. All right, yeah. Oh, visual regression as well. Look at this. Everything's diff is that's not working. It's awfully pink. I don't know why. What's up with that? 100.000% diff. It's really not that much. There's a bug in there. That's too bad. It's almost identical, but something is like, maybe it's like a layer on top that it's getting confused with, that was added, like some CSS thing that's transparent to us but not to it. All right, so deployed, right? So if we go look at our deployed site, we can browse over to it. We got our chat button. Is it going to work? I don't know. Let's see. What can you help me with? Error. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Let's see what happens. Maybe it's 404, which means like our proxy rule is not set up. It's subdomain alias. It should be going to our preview. Let's take a look at our aliases. Did it preview? Preview is not. Wonder why that's not going to it. Let's see. We have this. Aliases 5C55. Commits 5C55. All right. We have, it's going. Okay. Let's ask chat. Let's ask Claude about this. It's usually pretty good at debugging these things. So it seems like the preview alias is not getting attached to it for some reason. So it looks like our preview alias is not working, although it's attached. All right. And let's drop this screenshot in. See what it can figure out. I was really hoping that would work the first time. See what it can figure out. I must be forgetting something. I love this MCP server. You know, it can just look and it can inspect the whole backend system and all my pipelines and all my settings. And you usually can make sense of stuff. Both rules are attached to preview. The problem is in your URL in your screenshot. The immutable per deployment SHA is not the alias you have. Proxy rules are attached. But I thought, because we're not attaching it on upload, that makes sense. Because we're not attaching the proxy rule set on upload, it's not getting set on the auto alias. Is that it? Yeah, that's what's happening. When I fix the other bug, that will then work on the auto alias. So an auto alias is an alias that gets created like on the fly that's attached to the specific commit. I attach it to the preview alias, and the preview alias is just a fixed alias that we have a commit pointed at. I bet this works when you go to preview. We should have our commit. Oh, dang, double dang. All right, let's go and double dang. That's a new one. I don't know where that came from. Sorry. All right, so let's go and see what's up with preview. Let's go domains, example. Oh, we don't have a preview domain. Let's create a preview domain. Preview. This will match our alias for right now. And we're going to match it to preview. And we're going to, where do we want this to? Dist? Yeah. Map it to dist. And visibility, we'll keep it private. Inherit from the project. And it should be public then. So now I go to preview. Boom, there it is. All right, so preview What can I help you with? Ah, it works with this crazy Markdown. I don't really like Markdown in the chat, but I can clean all that up later with the instructions. Tell it not to use Markdown. We purposely are using Markdown, but I can clean all that up later. Um, what brought you here? Yeah, that sucks. I don't like. Let's tell the chat not to use Markdown. Okay. Can you update the system prompt to go light on the markdown? I think it looks like crap. And also, our UI kind of doesn't format the markdown very well. Let's give it a screenshot. I mean, this just looks like AI slop. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go in and we're going to configure the chat to have skills because it's not using skills. So if I go into chat pipelines, chat, AI, I come down here. I think it should be down here. Skills, select skills. Oh yeah. Once I merge it, I can select the skills. It's not seeing any skills right now. Because I think it uses the main, the production. I don't remember what it uses. They're not, they're not in the, what's ask Copilot. How are, how are skills loaded? Is it because our PR is not in main, that the skills aren't loaded? How does the backend know where to pull the skills from? Let's just see what it says. I don't know if it will know this information without the context of digging through the CE code. The skills should show up once I merge it, though. Because the skills, what happens is the skills repository, if you go look in here, BFFless, our skills are right here, and we have the skill that it should be reading this, finding this skill. So like, why doesn't it? It should relatively know that, but the pipeline doesn't know like what what alias to sort of key off of, which maybe should be a feature. Like I should be able to specify what I should be able to specify uh, what alias to use. Uh, but I'm curious if like what it does. Just go ahead and like, do I have outstanding changes? Let's go ahead and it pushed all my changes. Fail on regression. Let's go ahead and merge this and see what happens. Did it come up with anything? That might be a question answer for another day. So let's go ahead and merge my pipeline. I'm really upset that this thing like is so crappy. That's another thing I need to look at. Merge pull request. This is Illumin. The latest deployment preview alias is a skill. On the preview alias is a skills one file. Chat skills and the alias pointer moved forward for each of them. So three things is that preview domain has path dist. So it only exposes a file that live under dist. Interesting. And the deployment, that's why it's a 404. Admin UI, no skills found. Okay, so the skills upload happens last in the workflow. So the alias pointer is one file. It looks actually inside. Yeah, it shouldn't. Okay, here's the full picture. The skill file is uploaded correctly. Why the admin UI says no skills font. The skills panel in the admin UI here scans production aliases deployment, which is from before production. It scans production aliases deployment. I wonder if that's hard coded. I need to make that dynamic. So production. So is the production alias hard coded? And now I'm gonna pass it from my local, my CE path. Okay. Uh, you can look in here if you need to search the CE. All right, we'll tell it to go look. I think I need to make that dynamic. All right, while that's digging in, we created our branch, we merged our branch, and it completed the deployment. So www.j. We got our chat bubble. We can tell me about the site. We're chatting. We're chatting. We're chatting. Trying to chat. We're thinking. What are we thinking about for so long? It hasn't aired. That's really odd. We're chatting. Come on. Come on. You got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that other one hung. All right, new chat. Tell me about the site. That was a lot faster. Okay. It's still like styling is really crappy. A lot to improve on there. Let's see. But it did update it to use less markdown. It's not formatting. It's this backticks doesn't know how to format that. And it's like it's all centered. That's kind of lame. Like it should be left aligned. What am I reading? A poem? Okay. Um, so let's look at so it updated this. Let's see if we can add our skills now. Skills. There it is, site overview. We're gonna select our skill. Now, when it loads a skill, now we're gonna save this. And I'm gonna enable the debug mode so we can see it reference that skill. Saving, saving, saving. It's a little slow. Okay, finally. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn on this little debugger guy. This is cool. This is a really neat feature. I do need to inspect what's going on with the performance. Some of these things are kind of slow to take effect. Yeah, this is like going on 6 seconds. All right, so now it's like purple. That means it's on. So now I'm going to go to www.j5s. I'm going to say, who goes there? Who goes there? Hey there, I'm an AI assistant. BFF. Let's see if it used the skill. Oh, what did our skill even say? Let's see if we can coax it into running the skill. Background on this demo site. We'll see. Can you give me some background on this site? Can you give me some background on this site? All right. I don't know from this if it actually loaded the skill. Let's see. Let's see if it loaded the skill by going here. Oh no. It is. It's not logging it. Thought it. Wonder why the logging's not working. Another bug I gotta look at. Anyways, most of the pipelines, maybe there's an issue with the chat itself logging. If you enable logging, it should give you like you can step through everything that it's doing. So let's like when I load this and I open this guy up and I go here, see I get this but I guess that's not working for chat for some reason. I need to look at that. New chat. Who wrote this code? Man, the centered text. Yeah, chat's not being logged. That's okay. It should be loading the skill. Let's see if there's anything in the skill that it knows about. It's not really that much different. So, about the background of the site. Yeah. So, like my skill prompt and my system prompt are pretty much like the same thing. Let's do this way to test it out. Let's go ahead and update the chat pipeline to be like, I'm going to just save this. Come on. You are a pirate. Uh, pirate AI assistant. Talk like a pirate in all your responses. All right. So now, like, if it knows anything about my website, we know it's coming from the skill. Ideally, I should have a way to step through it and verify it, which I'll work on fixing. But for right now, we're going to be able to, because our skill is loaded, we know that that information is coming from our skill. All right. So we go to our website and start a new chat. What can you help me with? Ahoy there, matey. Okay. Site overview. I can load up the knowledge about this demo site. Okay, so it's asking me, let me, I can load up the knowledge about this demo site. So if you be wanting to know what's happening, I can give you a full scoop here. Yes. Okay, I got to ask it to load the skill. That's pretty lame. Load the skill. I can load the skill to tell me. All right, so yeah, so this is so annoying. Site overview, information about this demo site. Wanted me to, okay, I can't even read this. Information, hoist the colors be there. But I need to know which skill you want me to load. Okay, you don't speak pirate very well. Which skills do you have? Uh, the site, the only skill you have, matey. There you go. Dumbass. Yeah, so now it actually loaded the skill. Before it didn't load the skill. I couldn't like refine my prompt to tell it to give a little more helpful information about the skills so the skills pair well with the prompt. But God, I gotta delete this pirate talk. Okay. So yeah. One other thing that I didn't show you is all the chat messages. Or like get logged in here. So I have everything in here, which is really cool. And it's also really depressing because like I've published like chat sites before and the only thing I get are like people trying to have like saying really inappropriate things. And it's like, come on, really? Like it's frustrating. So yeah. But it's interesting. I can see what it's doing. So there's the chat conversation. So for each time you open up a new chat session, you get a chat conversation, and that's got a user ID and a chat ID, and that then each different message has that information in it. It's like paired with it, and then I can actually look at where it come back. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah. So The debug doesn't work on chat, but you can come in here to see the tool calls and everything that happened. And that makes sense because it's not doing a GET request. It's actually it's doing like this whole streaming thing, and it's all through AI SDK. So it's not like it can actually look at the network requests because there aren't like a post network request. But you can go in here and you can see all, like how it loaded the skill, and you can refine it. It gives you all this great helpful information. So sorry about that. Haven't messed around with a chat in a while. But yeah, so that's chat. I'm, it's pretty cool feature if you wire it up right and shape your prompt towards your user base, and you pair your skills well with it. If you have, like if your system prompt can sort of tell it has skills, and you basically like you AI engineer that system prompt, and then you have as many skills as you want that have in that front matter of the skill just a little bit information so it knows which skill to load. We didn't give it a lot of really good information here. I didn't spend a lot of time refining that. We'd probably want to make this maybe a couple sentences or a little bit longer. That way, when you're chatting with it, it knows if it needs to load the skill or not. But yeah, so that's chat. There's a lot more things you can do with it. I'm not going to get into today. You can actually, just at a high level, you can like integrate Google Calendar with it. And so if someone's chatting, you're like, oh, book me an appointment. You can have it like go out to your Google Calendar, book you an appointment. There's tons of cool things with it. But that's about it for today. I was trying to make this video like 10 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know how long in, but yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot. Oh, and if you enjoyed this, please like. I always hate it when people say that, but now as I'm actually doing this, please just like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps me know like what people are interested in, and I enjoy seeing you guys do that.